He's not here, is he? How do we get this thing off? One shudders to imagine what inhuman thoughts lie behind that mask of chronic and sustained cruelty. And magic makes it all complete. You have my demons are my very best friends.
Hello everybody, my name is Hyper, and today I'm reviewing Friendship is Magic Part 1. And, I really don't know how to make these things, as you can probably tell from the intro, which is really choppy, and I just sort of threw it together. But you know what, I'm sort of pleased with it. Don't be too mad at my editing skills. Now, let's begin. We begin with a classic story tale of a battle between two sisters and, the control of Equestria. Now this ends with the older one, Celestia, banishing the younger one, Luna, to the moon. We then see is being read by our young protagonist, Twilight Sparkle, who is, at the current moment, a complete social outcast. I wonder why that sounds familiar. What Twilight learns from this book is that Nightmare Moon, formerly known as Luna, Celestia's sister, who I mentioned earlier, is going to come back at the Summer Sun celebration 1,000 years after her banishment. And Twilight rushes home, and we learn that she's a huge dick to her assistant Spike the Dragon. Which displeases me, since Spike is awesome. And now she wants to send a letter to her mentor Celestia, warning her of the incoming threat. Okay, I know this isn't really sounding like a review so far, but don't worry, I'm going to get to that. Anyway, I wanted to take a break from explaining what's happening to tell you that Twilight, I don't like your character in this episode. I know that you're, socially awkward at this point, and you need friends, but Jesus Christ, you're a dick. And I'm sort of glad Celestia sort of told you to knock that shit off and go make some friends. So Twilight is sent to Ponyville to check on the Summer Sun celebrations and, like I said before, to make some friends. The first pony she runs into is the pony that we will come to know as Pinkie Pie. And I gotta say, I love her entrance here. It's hilarious. You don't know what she is. She's already a ball of energy, and we don't even know her name. I love it. So, yeah, good job, Pinkie, on a great entrance. And next, we move to Applejack. And now we are introduced to Applejack, who seems to show some southern hospitality. Being southern, I don't really take offense to this. I mean, they may have used a southern stereotype, but whatever, it's cool. And basically, she introduces her Twilight to her whole family. And my god, those are a lot of apple pastries. I don't even like apples, and I'm still impressed. And wait a second. Is that carrots on the table? Since when does Applejack eat carrots? This is not logical. My whole headcanon is destroyed. Applejack doesn't eat only apples. Why? Why?
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Well, now that I've gotten over that, I guess I'll continue. Anyway, Twilight starts going around Ponyville, and she notices the clouds are not cleared, which they're supposed to be for the Summer Sun celebration. And she finds out the pony responsible for clearing them, Rainbow Dash, is not doing anything at the moment, and just really goofing off. I have to relate to Rainbow Dash on the lazy aspect. I am sort of lazy myself and a bit of a procrastinator. I'm actually working on this video way too late. It's Sunday and I want it to be out by Saturday, so, I can understand being lazy. But anyway, back to the actual thing I'm supposed to be doing, which is reviewing. But, Twilight challenges Rainbow Dash to clear the clouds out of the sky, and Rainbow Dash says she can do it in 10 seconds flat, which she does, which surprises Twilight immensely. And it creates the Brony fandom's first ever meme, which is awesome. So, yeah. So after this, Twilight goes to check on the decorations, And then we get to meet my favorite pony, personally, Rarity. And even though I love her, her intro is really bad. She comes off as prissy and very girly, but, that's fine if you're like that, but it's not great for character development or anything like that, in my opinion. Luckily, she comes out of this later in different episodes, but in this one, eh, she's not that great. But we also learned that Spike has a thing for her, which is interesting. And later on, they explore more into that in future episodes, which I like because I don't really ship them, but I think it's cool. And Rarity sees Twilight's hair, which got messed up from Rainbow Dash, and takes her to her house and realizes that Twilight's from Canterlot and sort of has a fangirl moment over it. And then she dressed Twilight up in all this fancy clothing, and Twilight is not having it and runs off. Now, from personal experience, I know this is the perfect way to make friends, not from dressing them up, but by scaring them. The perfect way to make friends is to scare them off. Follow my advice. You'll be the most popular kid in school. Yeah. And now, after Twilight runs off, she runs into Fluttershy, who is adorable, but very shy. She can barely even speak her own name until she sees Spike. And then she's talking a lot because she is an animal caretaker, and I love animals, so it's sort of relatable to me because animals are great. In fact, recently I got a new kitten, and so if you hear anything in the videos like meowing or anything, that's probably him. So yeah, and she keeps on talking to them until they reach Twilight's house, and Twilight rushes inside with Spike to get away from her. And so now that Twilight is in the library, she thinks she can study up on Nightmare Moon to learn what to do when she arrives, if she arrives. And basically, every pony's there for a party thrown by Pinkie Pie. Finally, we get to hear her speak, and the only reason she didn't earlier was because she realized that Twilight was new and wanted to make friends with her because she realized that she probably had no friends since she was new to Ponyville. And Twilight is not happy by this at all. She does not want to make friends. And then she accidentally eats a hot sauce cupcake, which I think is hilarious. Like, I laughed really hard the first time I saw this. The classic hot sauce instead of whatever it is you're trying to put on your food item always makes me laugh. I don't even know why. And so she storms upstairs where she spends the rest of her night while every pony else is partying, including Spike. And then, what do you know? They have to go and celebrate the sun rising with Celestia. Every pony is there, and, well, Celestia isn't, but Nightmare Moon is. And that's where this episode ends. And so that's Friendship is Magic Part 1. From my perspective, this episode was, okay. It wasn't the best episode. There were a lot of problems I had with it, to be honest. Didn't really mention them in this review because it's my first time. I'll get the hang of it eventually, hopefully. But, really, it did what series opener should. It introduced the characters, and plus, who knows, the second part could be better. Because, this is a two-parter, so I will review that next week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.